like some really fly, white, 16-year-old kid introduce you, it works, I guess.
Do I have to use this?
No.
No. Just be loud.
Yeah.
Just be loud.
The bus keeps hiccuping like it's bound to break down at any moment. The child next to me is screaming bloody murder. The woman on her phone behind me is talking like I want to know her business. The homeless man reeks of all things that belong in toilets. And this old lady keeps trying to bring me to her Lord. And still, I've managed to write 6 poems about you in a half hour's time, because even when life gets in the way, I love you invisible. You've become the imaginary friend of my adulthood, because I love you invisible. Everything is about you. Pesto, Radiohead, laptops, Regina Spektor, Carla Rossi, Dilla, and all things hip-hop. I should call you Magic Johnson because your name is on everything. My friends have developed severe eye conditions from constant eye-rolling at the sound of your name. Intervention has tapped out. God has a fast-forward button that he presses at the mention of your name in my poems. Mindy Nettifee has written 2 full books about you and doesn't even know you. I have cursed Erykah Badu for cutting out my mind just in time too short because I wasn't finished crying over you. Men and women have left your minimal attempts miles behind in their love for me. Racing against an opponent who won't run a single pace. There is gospel in the pulpit of my love for you. Hour-long organ solos, fat black women belching songs in tongues that only God can translate. My pebble throwing is graduated to bricks because you've got bulletproof windows and I'm just trying to break you. You said you wanted Leo, and baby, my mother birthed me in August just for you to love me. You want an artist like you don't know who these poems were written for. You want curls, and I want to grow them back for you. I want to learn lady laughter to be music to your ears instead of shrieking. I wish you success before considering mine. I blow you kisses when I pass your street in hopes that your lips aren't too occupied to catch it. I stay single because my heart doesn't know how not to wait for you. Stick around like a parent's advice, hoping that one day loving me will make sense to you. You are the dream I keep on file when sleep won't come. The person I point a finger to for my child's future acne problem. I want to name him Junior. Even though folks have a difficult time pronouncing your name, I will love a whole nother generation of difficult just as long as it has your face. Because even the ugly shit you do is beautiful. You are the farewell I wish I could bid, but I love you. Gangster. Fighting for the block that is your heart like it belongs to me. This doesn't make sense to anybody but me. Everything is about you, and nothing is about us.
Damn! For the kids. Nobody knows. Only you and me. Nobody knows. I just got goosebumps all over my body.
I was gonna talk to you guys about like audience participation and like making me feel like you kind of like me. And then you guys just did it automatically, so that's really cool.
Thank you guys so much.
We like you, Ebony.
Thank you. So my dad named me Ebony to remind me that I'm black every day of my life. But there's mirrors and shit, so I totally remember. And then there's the whole pullover thing. You know, I'm not light enough to have that let go. Ever since I got the Prius, though, not so much. And just got God damn. I do in features. That's why I was like, why are they asking me to feature in a kids thing? I think that's better. Okay. So I'm going to read some written stuff. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
I promise that it's not terrible, but a lot of people, like 2 people, have heard these things. So you guys are like a little special, okay?
Yeah.
Know that, all right? The lint on your work uniform, the pimple that just sprouted on your chin, the knot in your neck. He just wants to fix you, lovingly. He's an animal. He calls this grooming. You are a fixer-upper of a home, and once the proper repairs have been made, you will be comfortable enough to live in. But in the meantime, you are costly, demanding, time-consuming, and the thrill is gone again. When he leaves, you don't know what else to do to get his attention but to break something. You consider breaking his windshield with great precision, assuring it all stays in its original place, just shattered, like you, barely holding on, leaving a post-it note beneath every fracture describing every way that he broke you, disappointed you, or let you down. You want to call, to email him poems, but you can't write. Text him good morning, pretending you never heard him say goodbye. Send a messenger with his favorite dessert. Wait for him at his door until he realizes that you belong inside. You want to apologize for everything, but you realize you've done nothing but love him. You want to call, but you don't know what to say or where to start and what to race without knowing that there's a finish line. So you get in your car and you drive because the gas tank is full, because your schedule is as empty as your apartment, your heart misunderstood and disregarded, your text inbox holds his last words. You let him have just about everything that you were capable of giving, and then somehow found ways to give more. You made it to chapters you didn't even know existed while he struggled with the introductory pages. You play Ani, Amy, Adele, Fiona, Nora, and wonder how many sad girls it takes to make a girl drain of heartache. Pandora repeats the same 12 songs like it knows your steps to recovery. It serenaded the morning of every lover that's ever left before. Now it picks fun at your pain, laughs at how the same set of songs seem to work every single time, tries to tell you that you love habitually, that he was no different. Just another character in another one of your sad, sad songs. You plead differently. Make friends sit in the theater of your relationship and watch all the good shit that you couldn't fit into the trailer. You want to beat his name down and caress it all at once. Convince your loved ones to hate him just enough to understand the burn in your throat when you can't cry anymore. You want them to understand why you need him back, why it made sense, why it still does. The hardest thing you've ever had to do was let a crazy person be crazy. You let him walk away, knowing you should have kicked him dead in the shins when you had a chance, and told him, this falling thing, lover, it isn't so bad if you have someone to fall with, because you know he loves you, but his stubborn doesn't understand yield, so you give up, and you tell yourself, you are no less of a home. He just wasn't ready to move yet.
He does not even deserve that piece. That was worth the drum for the whole. Damn, that's amazing. Exciting.
I love it here. I ran from this feature for a very, very long time. I'm good at running from features. I like them when they're happening, and when I get asked to do them, I'm terrified of them. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. I get really excited about getting dressed up for them. And I told myself that I could wear a leotard tutu because I remembered this dear young lady, great performer, makes her own music, singer. What's your name again, love?
Lucinda.
Lucinda. I remembered Lucinda and I was like, Lucinda goes fly every downbeat so I can wear whatever. So thanks for now that I'm here, it feels great. I'm glad I'm here.
We're here too.
But these are my boys. The only reason I ever started doing poetry, I don't know who knows this story, but Jen and I used to work together at Warehouse Music. Yeah. And when we worked there, he gave me a flyer and told me to come to this thing. Or he didn't give me a flyer because I was tricked. And I put on club clothes. I was like 18, going on 19. And I was really excited. I thought I was going to go hear a DJ and dance and flirt with boys. And something told me to change. And I got there and there was people talking on stage. And I thought it was really lame. And then he was playing 10 seconds worth of music, and that was not what I came for. And then I stopped being so pretentious, and I really loved it. And the next week I had a poem, and then I've been hogging stages ever since. So, all here because of this guy right here. So give it up for 10 years. So this is it, and then I'm out. So I read this to the guy that I'm not sure if I'm still seeing.
Wow.
So happens when you have arguments at like 2 in the morning. Like you end and you're just like, I'm tired. I don't even remember, but it's not working. I don't know. Let's talk about it tomorrow. So when I didn't explain this to him, I read it to him and I was like, tell me if you get it. And he was like, it's about a woman. Do you feel like you're being mistreated? I don't were you? And he doesn't even sound like that at all. I made him sound like a white pothead, and he's not. And so then I read it to like my smart poetry friends, and like they didn't get it either. So I'm just gonna tell you what it's about, so that nobody like thinks it's.
No disclaimers. No disclaimers.
Shut up. Listen, kid, I love you and all. My time. So it's about a wind chime. I think I got so tired of being in my feelings. Because like I'm so in love every 10 seconds and like when, nobody cares. So I just decided to like force my feelings and sexes onto inanimate objects. So this is about a wind chime and her lover, the wind. But it's serious, I just, yeah. For fun. You are freestyle tap dance, all shine and nowhere to go. 3 deft orchestras attempting to collaborate and somehow making sense to only their audience. The neighbors hate you. On this porch, in this city where you hang, the wind only moves in temper tantrums and the people never leave their homes for a fear of a cold that you have grown to know too well. You wonder how you could possibly be a gift when no one seems to listen. Just the other day, the wind slapped me alive again. And in that moment, I understood how a man with blows like that could somehow still be considered a muse. How a woman could forget herself in a man's name. Does he think of you? Does he ask you if your feet hurt? From all the dancing, do you ever beg of him to sit this one out? Does your voice ever grow tired from singing so loudly? You ever want to take a vow of silence so that they'll actually appreciate you when you speak? Do you wish you weren't such a marionette to his breath on your neck? Does it hurt that no one notices you unless you're screaming? You've got this skeleton made up of string. A man couldn't dream of a woman more flexible than you are. I bet you pray for a backbone at night, for purpose, for the ability to not get so tangled up in him. Did your mother ever tell you you were supposed to take your lover's last name, not put him first? By all means, chime, but not on account of the wind, but because you want to.